This movie is excellent on every level possible.
This is a beautiful movie with great performances in it.
Images from this film stay in my mind.
I think it's just almost like a perfect movie.
It is definitely an essential.
I Remember Mama from 1948.
This film is directed by George Stevens, and this one is one of his best.
I don't think there was ever a bigger star that was more underrated than Irene Dunn.
And with an incredible supporting cast, it's wonderful to watch every single one of them.
I Remember Mama is one of the most touching movies ever made.
Oh, Mama, when I'm rich and famous, I'm going to have fresh flowers every day. I'll buy you just lovely clothes. White satin gowns with long trains to them, and jewelry. I'll buy you a pearl necklace.
Oh, better I like my Solia.
But, Mama, wouldn't you like to be rich?
I would like to be rich the way I would like to be 10 feet high. It's good for some things, bad for others.
This next essential is, I think, one of the true essentials. I think it's one of the best movies ever made. It's one of the most touching movies ever made.
Yes.
It's addictive.
It's beautiful.
Truly addictive. And also has in it Irene Dunn, who we have to say is truly one of the most underrated actresses in the history of film.
I adored her. She could do everything from this kind of dramatic role to high comedy in The Awful Truth.
Yes.
When I was a little girl in the 50s, and everybody, their favorite actresses were Natalie Wood or Sandra Dee. My favorite actress was Irene Dunn, and you know, my friends would go, "Who?" I loved her work, and her work in this film is splendid.
Yes.
Mama's hair now. Yeah, you go to sleep now.
And George Stevens, again, we have to say the great George Stevens, knowing how to pick a cast, because so many of these people are cast in very unusual roles.
Yes.
You've got Edgar Bergen,
in a tiny
who's a famous
role.
ventriloquist.
Yes.
Candace Bergen's father.
Oh, yes, he's a mortician and wants to marry little Ellen Corby, who had got an Oscar nomination for this, for supporting actor.
Now, you've got to tell them not to laugh at me. If they laugh at me, I'll jump into bay.
And you've got Philip Dorn, who is usually kind of the European, not quite to be trusted.
Yeah.
And he plays this wonderfully sensible, down-to-earth father.
The show must go on.
And then there's Barbara
Bel
Geddes,
Geddes,
who's really the narrator. And Oskar Homolka, he just kills me because he's such an old curmudgeon who you really care about a lot.
But why? What is there to be frightened of? I'm your Uncle Chris. Why do I frighten you?
I don't know.
But it's also such a wonderful story. It was based on a story called Mama's Bank Account, turned into a play, and then became a very successful TV series for years. It's just a wonderful adaptation done by Harriet Parsons, who was the daughter of the gossip columnist Luella Parsons, that nobody had any particular respect for or faith in.
But she hung on to it when it went here and there with different directors, and then all of a sudden it was revived again, and George Stevens was attached to it when it was his first film after he got out of the war, when he filmed so much of the atrocities that had gone on.
And the D-Day landing.
Yes.
And he never was able to do a film quite like this again. And certainly no comedies did he do after his experiences in the Second World War.
No, none.
But what a great director, and what a great movie this is.
Yes.
And it's one of those movies that I think a lot of people don't know, and they should get to know. So let's have a look.
Please, let's have a look.
And get your handkerchief out.
I know,
Okay.
I know.
So have a look, a very heartwarming tale which received 5 Academy Award nominations for the year 1948. Here's I Remember Mama.